Hi, my name is Damara Bryant, and I will be presenting on Gordon Parks. Gordon Parks was an African American photographer who lived during the Civil Rights Movement. He was born in Kansas in 1912 and died at the age of 93 in 2006. He continued to produce work into 2004. His main focus was documenting the lives of Blacks and the poor. To me, this quote epitomizes what he wanted to achieve with his work. He says, people in millenniums ahead will know what we were like in the 1930s and the important major things that shaped our history at the time. This is as important for historic reasons as any other. A very concise excerpt of his biography is that he was born in 1912 in Kansas. He was into photography since he was a kid, and as he got older, he decided that he would buy a camera and film with his last few dollars and take a chance with that. He started in the FSA, went on to fashion, and also wanted to focus on his own work. He had many mediums of work, including music, painting, directing, and other things of that type. He died in 2006 at the age of 93. His photographic career includes being an FSA apprentice in 1942. After the FSA ended, he joined OWI, which is the Office of War Information. He had the task of documenting the Tuskegee Airmen, who were the first Black military pilots of World War II. He also began focusing hard on documenting what he wanted people to see while making money with fashion photography. He mainly wanted to focus on racism and poverty. He worked with Life magazine for 2 decades, and some of his most famous publications are Government Work, Harlan Gang Leader, and Segregation Story. Here is part of his work from the FSA. This is called European Immigrants. Here we have some boys that almost look like men. This is post-World War II. Here we have the Horrible Six practice raising eyebrows. Six young women who consider themselves empowered with each other, but beauty was also important during that time. Here they are looking into a mirror, practicing eyebrow raising, which was part of fashion during that time to have pointed and raised eyebrows. Here we have from the exhibition of performers, Eartha Kitt. The picture is shadowed and sultrily lit just the way that Eartha Kitt is. Here we have Oprah Winfrey. She is posed in character from the movie called The Color Purple. In this movie, she plays a strong woman who stood up to her husband about abuse. Here we have parts of the exhibition from Segregation Story. I feel that Gordon Parks purposely put these pictures in color just to emphasize the color separations that was happening during the time. Here we have some women just talking. They are centered by the window and by the White House on the outside. They seem to be happy. The woman inside is holding a baby. The woman on the outside is dressed in her church clothing on her way to church. Here we have 3 boys, 2 black, 1 white. It kind of suggests that children do not see color. Maybe this boy was a poor white, or maybe his parents just simply did not care that he was playing with other black children. Here we have one of the most famous pictures called Airline Terminal, where a well-dressed white woman is sitting next to her black nanny who is holding her white baby. They both seem sort of uninterested. The picture is taken from a candid point of view. You can see Gordon's shoulder in the bottom right. It suggests that he took this picture secretly, possibly because this could be seen as controversial. Here we see the picture of Andrea Tanner and her grandmother window shopping. This may suggest that they cannot afford the things that are in the window. There they are surrounded by white mannequins, which is probably how it was for them every day. And again, here we see an outside looking in point of view from Gordon. This is from Civil Rights. Here are some people wearing Malcolm X on their sweaters. Um, they're very Afrocentric and proud of it. This picture is a happy picture. Here we have a more serious picture. The leaders of the Black Panther Association at the Black Panther headquarters, very serious, possibly planning what they're going to do next. Here is some from Gordon's fashion exhibitions, fashion photos. He was known for his natural movement style. We can see that in this picture here. This woman is centered by the buildings that are behind her. Her waist is very cinched in. She has a almost candid look about her, like she's not looking at the picture. Here we again have a woman centralized by the buildings behind her. She is walking while she is walking, dressed very luxuriously, while a man fixes her car for her. As she wanders with an attractive curiosity about her. Here we have later abstractions from 1993 to 95. I assumed that Gordon was trying something different here. The pictures are ethereal and color toned. Not much has been said about these, but often they feature a main subject of no particular shape. They are often surrounded by textures and what resembles to be landscapes. Here we have Metropolitan Missionary Baptist Church, Chicago. Religion was and is a very big thing for African Americans. Here we have a woman being baptized traditionally in her white clothing. She is rising out of the water almost scarily, but to the church it is beautiful. She is holy and new again as the audience watches her. Here we have maybe part of a fashion by him also. Children were often raised with the church. Um, Fashion is very important when you go to church. When you go to church on Sunday, every Sunday you dress in your Sunday best. Here we have from Black Muslims. Black Muslims also banded together strongly, mostly led by Malcolm X. Here we have a newsman being frisked by a Muslim at a rally. The frisker is serious and the newsman is compliant. This is their domain and they will not be overpowered in their own place. Here we have Malcolm X, very famous. He was not a peaceful protester. He holds this newspaper about 7 unarmed black Negroes shot in cold blood. He almost has a smirk on his face, and he was a very prominent and very devout Muslim. Here we have parts from Harlem Gang Leader. Here in this picture, it also looks almost looks like a fight. It is very dark. You cannot see much of it. There's a lot of movement, and all of that makes the picture feel like there is a scuffle going on. Here we have Red. He is the gang member that Gordon photographed most of the time. Here they are looking at one of their fellow gang members who was shot, Maurice Gaines. The look on their face is kind of like it's nothing new. There is no crying. The clothes are not very formal for a funeral. The casket is bright white silk and the background is dark. Red and Herbie almost fit into it. Um, Gordon Parks is significant because he was very determined to shed light on the lives of the poor and the Black. He was very determined to show this, and he was a breakthrough photographer for other Black photographers as well as other Black artists. He had a very distinct style with natural motion that made him stand out. This was also aided by his success with Life magazine, which he stayed with for about 20 years. His photos made a big difference in the civil rights movement.